What's happening? Welcome to the 250 Gemstones News TV channel. I am your host, Michael T. Porter, bringing the news to your ass like no other. I came across this story. I'm a little late, but I came across this story that Jim Crow is back in Arkansas. Jim Crow is back, baby. Jim Crow. Hold on. Jim Crow is back. Jim Crow is back in Arkansas by the name of a man, Eric Orwell. Her name is Orwell. Sound like a racist name. So out there in Arkansas, they are building an all-white city. There'll be no niggas. There'll be no blacks. There'll be no brothers. There'll be no spics. There'll be no gays. There'll be no Jews. There'll be no Arabs. There'll be no type of Asians in this community, and they're going to make damn sure of it. Cross onto their property and you will get killed if you try to go into one of these properties. Let's get this poll going, because for years they've been telling black folks doesn't exist. Meanwhile, they're building an all-white city in Arkansas. So let's see what's going on here. Let me get my polls. Man. Okay, I know I'm live. Where's my polls? Huh? Y'all gonna give me some gifts? I need some gifts, because I'm dropping some heat for y'all. So I got my goal up. Now I need to, where's the frick is my poll, man? I'm trying to get a poll going. It seems like it's blocking me. But yeah, we'll keep it going. Yeah, so yeah, they've been saying that black people have been making up racism in their mind. See that Jim Crow? That's Jim Crow right there. That's Jim Crow. That's the original Jim Crow. Right? Wait, is that a black cop? What your black ass doing out there? But this is Jim Crow, making black people's lives a living hell. And then you got, I can understand how white folks are saying this, but you got black people telling other black people that it never happened and it's not happening now. Racism doesn't exist, when racism has been around since the biblical days. The Jews been going to war. Actually, look at the Jewish history and how many different cultures they have clashed with for centuries. The Jewish community, the Jewish culture, have been clashing with other cultures, and they were racist towards each other because of their belief system, because of their customs. This has been going on for years. But when it comes to conservatives, what's up, Matthew? When it comes to conservatives, it's like they're shaming black people for telling the truth. There's a lot of good white folks. There's a lot of awful white folks. There's a lot of good black people, and trust me, I'm black. There's a lot of god-awful black people, just absolutely trash. It's in every race. But when we bring up the issues of, is racism to me as prevalent as it was back then? No. Because they have a new type. It's all about slavery. There's a new type of slavery, which they're enslaving God's sons, called homosexuality. They're enslaving the minds. So the enslavement of men, because in order to weaken the country, it's all to make the country weak. You have to make the country weak. You have to destroy the men. So black men and white men and most men in America have been enslaved to the dollar. We can't move without that dollar. You gotta feed the family, gotta take care of ourselves. Money, right? So enslaved by the dollar. That wasn't enough. So we had to enslave God's sons physically, especially for the black community, mass incarceration. So when you tell conservatives that there was a system in place, there still is a system in place to lock up human beings, it's called mass incarceration, they say, well, no, it's not true. It's not based off racism, based off your actions. Well, a lot of white people commit crimes, a lot of black people commit crimes, which means the prison population should be at least half and half. But the prison system is not half and half. The prison system is predominantly black. The prison system is predominantly black, and in which I never understood, because there's a lot of poor white people committing crimes, right? Which means they can't afford proper representation. So the argument is that they'll do anything to make black people look like assholes, right? Do black people take racism to the extreme sometime? Of course. I'm just talking about just the basics. Mass incarceration is a prime example of how there's a system put in place, because if there's a poor white man going to jail and there's a poor black man going to jail, both of these individuals should never get out because they can't afford proper representation. But for some reason, white men are getting off. And if you don't believe me, I know this firsthand. So no conservative, and I don't like liberals either. I don't like neither one of these parties are helping the American people. They both need to get kicked in their ass. But what I'm saying is, in California, they were releasing so many white male pedophiles. Don't believe me? Y'all can go look up how many prisoners are released, and most of them are white, and most of them have touched children. There's a thing called what was it called? When you're able to look up your computer, and you can see which pedophiles are in your area. This was all up and down the West Coast. Meanwhile, black men want money. When I was coming up, black men wanted money, women, and material things. Money and women, money and women, money and women. So on a deeper level, the guys that are trying to do the right thing, hustling, get their money, and they eventually want to go legit, right? So there's a system in place. So if there's more white folks than black, so the narrative is that black people are just more violent. That's why the prisons are filled with blacks. No, white people, I don't know how these poor white men are getting off. I really don't know. Can y'all help me? What's up, Cole? What's up, Boone? What's up, Phil? What's up, Grain? What's up, Carson? There's a system in place, because there's no way all of these white men who've been touching children are able to get off. The reason I'm bringing up the men hustling in the streets, here's my point. Black men hustling in the streets, they're going to jail. They're getting life for a crack rock. 3 strikes, your ass is out of there. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't know till I was in my late 20s. The 3 strikes law was in California. That was to protect white girls, because they were getting raped and kidnapped. White men were on a rampage in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. There was so much raping going on in America. And not only were they raping black girls, because they can rape a black girl and get away with it, because of course the Jim Crow right behind me was in place. The judges were white, the jury was white, and black people had no voice. They were doing horrific things to black people and getting away with all of these Jim Crow laws, right? So the 3 strikes law, these white men were able to rape little black girls, but they were raping them white girls like it was no tomorrow. Just go look up Arkansas. Arkansas, one of the hot spots. Ohio, North Dakota, a lot of them in the Midwest, a few out there in North Dakota, but a lot of places where there's a lot of woods. Go look at how many kids were being kidnapped in the 90s. Oh, the 90s were bad. Do you remember the milk carton? White men, and it's whites and Mexicans. It wasn't too many black, because black people really don't, especially black men, ain't trying to mess with no kids. They only take care of their own kids. So I'm pretty sure they're not gonna try to take care of somebody else's kid. So it was a lot of white kids coming up missing, and then over the years, it's all kids. You know how y'all go into Walmart and y'all see black kids missing, Latinos. You see it's diverse. The kids that are missing, they are diverse. So as you go into Walmart, it's diverse. But back in them days, it was a lot of white girls, a lot. Then they started kidnapping little boys too. They're sick people, right? Your Jeffrey Dahmer of the world, all these sick people, Ted Bundy and all these people, but they were raping women, white women, little white girls were getting raped off the chain. So 3 strikes law. Because the reason why the 3 strikes law was put into place, because a lot of these men that committed these horrible acts with women and children, they were already arrested. So the 3 strikes law was to protect white women and little white girls. from being assaulted? How can we prevent, because it was happening so much, these white men were raping their own women and children so much. What can we do to stop it? It was signed into place um, by Bill Clinton. And I think they tried to pass it before, but they really pushed it when Clinton got in. So the three strikes law was for that, to protect white women and white children from the white man, their counterpart, from raping them. Go look it up. It was from the 70s, 80s, 90s. It was out of hand. So jumping back, fast forward, a lot of them men got released, but they're not releasing black men selling some rock, selling a pound of weed. You know, you get caught with a pound of weed. Damn, a pound of weed, a substance that doesn't even kill anybody. Your ass getting locked up. They catch you with some heroin. They catch you with some crystal. They catch you with any type of hard substance. Your ass is going away for years. Gun charges, robberies. It's a system put in place for poor people, especially poor black men, to go to jail. So, like I said, I don't know how these white now the white men who commit manly crimes, robbery, battery, stuff like that, murders. I don't know how they're getting off so easy, because there's a lot of white people committing crimes. I don't know. Hopefully, I can tell black folks how to get off, how to get out of jail. I'll make one more point. I'm gonna jump into the comments, but I want to see. So it's going back to this whole, how they're telling black people that it's not existing, the system doesn't exist. And I just went through a very detailed, that's not even the whole thing. We could talk about the economics, how they keep people enslaved, especially the people in the ghetto. They keep, especially blacks, they keep them in the ghetto. They're encouraging, they're using the music to destroy black folks. It's a whole system in place, from the music, from the educational system, from the economic system. It's a social engineering system. They enslaving black men. They see all these black men acting sassy. All these things destroy us, right? And it's coming from the top. So when you say there's a system, so when you tell black people the system, there ain't no racism, you're making it up in your mind. Can you please explain to me, if that's true, for making it up in our mind, how is it that Eric Orwell is building an all-white city in Arkansas? So let's jump into these comments. I'm trying to get my poll. Oh, here we go. I found the poll. Here we go. Do y'all think systemic do y'all think systemic racism is real? Let's jump into these. All right, what's going on? Let's jump into the comments. My life is acting crazy. What's going on here? All right, let's jump into the comments. I'm trying to get that poll up again. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Blessings to you. Thank you for your blessings. I need them. Thank you for agreeing. Phil 676, whatever that means. Oh Lord, just be a decent human being. You don't have to worry about going to jail. Most black men still act like teenagers. That's a good point, Boone. Boone is kicking black folks in their ass, but we need it sometimes. System is designed to keep all of us separated and divided and clashing amongst ourselves. The powers that be remain in power. Yep. Divide and conquer. Cole, good morning. Good morning to you, Cole. Because they are Billy Bob's. Who's it? Brooklyn Brownstone kids. They call them Billy Bob Thornton. Them men out there building this all-white city, y'all. They don't want no blacks, no Jews, no gays, no nothing, no chinks. I mean, no Chinese folk, no Asian folk. That was more like 80s with the milk carton. So the 80s, okay. Yeah, the 80s. Boy, it was jumping. Y'all remember? Damn, it was terrible. All these kids coming up missing. The guy doesn't really know what the hell he's talking about. You talking about me or you're not oppressed? Skeeter said we are not oppressed. I'm not jumping on Skeeter. I'm sophisticated enough not to be in my feelings. So I can talk to people who don't agree with me. Skeeter said we are not oppressed. Now you mean racially or economically? Because 90% of the people, only 10% of the people in the United States makes $100,000. Only 10%. And there's over almost 400 million people here. So everybody's enslaved to the dollar. Everybody's oppressed. I don't give a damn who you is. Even millionaires get oppressed. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Fix this right here. Everybody's oppressed in some way. Spiritually oppressed, economically oppressed, racially oppressed. Just some type. You oppressed some way. You oppressed by your habits. You maybe alcohol, drugs, sex, things you can't give up. It's oppressing you. You trying to break free. Oh, you oppressed in some fashion. Leon with the F. Trump is the GOAT brother. He is a victim. Let's check it out. Mr. Patrick. Mr. C. Doug. I must rage. Tobias Hawk. I don't know what that means, but thanks for the comment. And something Endwalk sanity. Blackness is whackness. 30% of a pigment, printing 60% plus of. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Put my stuff back on. What's wrong with you? Okay, we back in action. Can y'all see me? If you got to clock in, you're oppressed. Okay, I can feel that. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, this all white people saying, so that's my first point. When black people are raising concerns about racism and they saying it's not happening, and that's kind of ingenuous. There's a lot of racist people. There's a lot of cultures out here, foreigners, people that are born in America that really hate black folks. They just really hate black folks. We don't have a voice here, and anytime you bring up just a little concern, we complaining. But when if black folks complain about bring up concerns about the economy, they say, oh, black people, y'all lazy anyway, here you guys go begging and to stop that goddamn begging, go get a job. When white folks complain about the economy, oh, these are patriots who are bringing up valid concerns. Think about that. These are patriots of the country who are productive people. They just can't catch a break, and they're bringing up valid concerns. Valid concerns. So notice how blacks don't have a voice, and everybody do. Even illegals have a voice, right? They come over here, think they better than us too. So it's happening, right? As it's the same skill as it was 60 years ago, I don't think so, but it's still there. It will always be there. There will always be clashes. And this is where conservatives lose people. There will always be clashes of cultures because everybody have a different religion, different belief system, and that's just how it goes. So for you to sit there and kind of be condescending towards black people's thoughts and perspectives, for you to sit there and be like, disingenuous, and we actually bringing up concerns, this what makes black people feel like there is even more racism when people bring up their concerns and you say it's not happening. Meanwhile, Eric Orwell is building an all-white city in Arkansas. Building an all-white city in Arkansas. So y'all tell me what that is. If racism doesn't exist, what label would you give Eric Orwell, who is building an all-white city? All white. Don't you dare go out there. Don't you dare go out there. What do y'all think would happen if the non-white folks went over there? What y'all think was gonna happen if some blacks went over there to that new city they building in Arkansas? What y'all think gonna happen? Somebody gonna get killed. See, they're gonna have an all white. They want the Jim Crow to come back. All white jury, all white judges, all white correctional officers, all white police, and they're gonna regulate it with their prejudiced beliefs. They putting the system in place. Y'all tell black people that there's not a system put in place, but meanwhile, right now, Eric Orwell is regurgitating the very system that was put into place 50 years ago. He is the David Duke. He is David Duke, or whoever the leader of the Ku Klux Klan. He has a Ku Klux Klan mentality. And this man's not locked up. How was he able to do this in 2025? I thought there were rules and regulations. You can't discriminate on your job application. So in his town, he can put there, if you're not white, you can't come here. I want you guys to think about that. But they're saying racism doesn't exist. So what label should we give Mr. Orwell? If racism doesn't exist, what label should we give this man? It's absolutely ridiculous how black people get treated over here, voicing serious concerns. So it all goes back to the image that they have of black people. We're dumb, lazy, ignorant, don't take care of our kids, and we're the most violent group out of all the groups in America. So we really don't have a voice. This is how they were able to silence us, or try to silence us, by putting this stigma. Because not only is other cultures in America believing in this image of black folks, you got to remember this image is international. It's an international image of black men, lazy, gang banging, dirty, ashy. Tyrone Biggums with a gun. That's what when they think about black folks. Tyrone Biggums, who was played by Dave Chappelle. If you ever watched the show, or y'all can go look it up. He was a crackhead. That's how they look at black folks. Violent crackheads who don't take care of their kids, always running from the police. They're always showing images of black men running from the police. The image of the black woman, ghetto, Sexy Red and Suki Hana and all them, Cardi B. That's the image of the black woman. Crazy. I tried to do a poll, but it didn't let me for some reason. I think it will now. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think my phone was just hot. Let's see. Shout out to Ted East, Mardiso, P. Diddy new record label, Hershey Highway Records. Roe. Even shout out to Even Nar. Shout out to Jeremy. Believe it or not, in this free land, you aren't required to hire anyone, and how could they make you spend your money on somehow who is benefiting you and then call it freedom? Fired up 420, shout out. How about you show them that image is wrong then? What you mean show them? I don't have to show the image is wrong, because there's a lot of black men like myself that are productive. I am showing them that they wrong, because look at me. You understand what I'm saying? So this is how I know, like, something wrong with Mr. 420, because right now I'm doing a live, right? This is talking about how a lot of cultures hate black folks. He just proved my point right here. He said, why don't you show people? I don't have to show people nothing. I ain't gotta prove anything, because first off, the image is blurred lines. There's a lot of truth in that image, and then there's a lot of lies. Because here's the thing. First off, my first point, to show this man's ignorance, what am I doing right now? I'm being productive. We're having an intellectual conversation. We're having fun. I am being productive. I get paid to do this. So I'm working right now. And he says, show them, prove to them that the image is wrong. Show them that the image is wrong. Are you not on the live? Are you not seeing me work? So right now, this person is watching me work. A black man. He's watching a black man. He's on my live. He decided to join. Thank you for joining. But right now, I'm on the live working, and he said I need to show them something different. What you think I'm doing right now? So that's what I mean. There's a lot of hateful people. They're ignorant people, right? A lot of hateful people. Those rednecks, hillbillies, they're like retarded, like for real, like really, really retarded. So in my second point, they're showing these images but not telling the whole truth. Notice how they don't show the images of people like me, right? A lot of productive black males. Notice how they never show black men going to college. They never show black men graduating. Even our black youngsters in our community, we do celebrate this stuff, but it's the social media, it's the media that emphasizes gangs, right? Because they give so much attention to gangs, but it's all on social media. Social media always shows the gangs. They don't put a lot of attention on the little ones graduating. So when you're not putting the camera on positivity, that's any facet of life. They're not going to put positive images of black folks in mass to show to the masses on Facebook, Instagram, in the movies. Tyler Perry, our own people make black men look retarded, raping little black girls, gang bang. I mean, having us look like absolute monkeys. Why don't they show the brothers working in an automotive shop? There's a lot of black out here in Dallas. The transportation industry, the big rigs, the buses, 70% of the drivers are black. So that person right here, 420, doesn't know what he's talking about. He just over here trying to make it a little funny, right? So there's a lot of black people doing a lot of positive things. There's a lot of white folks. In any race, if you're doing positive things, you're not going to get that shine. That's why it took me so long I've been on YouTube 5 years, but if this message is on a large scale, ooh, them conservatives they be up in arms when I tell them that it is happening. Racism is real. Economic oppression is real. All these things is real, but it's what you choose to do with it. And the left too. The left is just as terrible. The left, they treat black people worse than monkeys. What was that? Maxine Waters, one of them black representatives out there in LA. One of those black representatives, she said, they trying to take down the projects, and I'm not going to let that happen. These projects are going to be here forever. And black people were cheering. The project's one of the worst areas in the neighborhood, and they proud to keep it like that. Notice how they see the left, they target poor, ignorant people, and the people that they target, they created. So I grew up in California, and I saw the school systems are terrible. If you ever look at the history, if you compare the West Coast educational system and you compare it to the South is, most people in the South are smarter than the West Coast. Don't be fooled by them pretty beaches. Don't be fooled by those nice tall palm trees. Don't be fooled by all that luxurious malls and hills and beautiful scenery. They were dumbing us down. So it's like you dumb down somebody, you don't give them the resources, and then they come to you. I am here for you. I am here to help. That's a snake. You dumb me down. You're not giving the kids adequate resources. The liberals have done a fantastic job of making black people look like buffoons. And then they pretend like they really care. So we're not going to give you the tools to be independent. We're not going to give you the tools to start your own business. We're not going to give you the tools so you guys can build your own enterprises. You guys can be free. No. We're not going to give you the tools. We're going to help you with welfare. We're going to help you with food stamps. I want you guys to think about the system that's put into place. When I tell conservatives and you tell white folks, even though white folks don't vote or they're not into politics, there's a system in place. I live the system. What are you talking about? There's a system in place to get them prisons filled up. There's a system in place to dumb children down, especially minority children down. That girl said, these projects ain't going nowhere. These projects will be here forever. What is she saying? She wants you guys to kill each other forever. She wants you guys to be in poverty forever. That's what she's saying. She wants you guys ducking gunshots forever. She wants you guys to continue to attend these raggedy ass schools forever. But she comes to you like a friend. I'm here to help you out. Well, you were the very person that put me in this predicament. You were the very person that implemented the 3 strikes law. You're the very person that raised the rent so high that people can't keep up. The homelessness is through the roof. You the person that created this system to literally keep people enslaved and keep people on the clock. You the very person that came up with this image, who illustrated this image of black people. Lips all ashy. Black men, every time they kept showing these images, every time a little black baby was born, there was no father in the OBGYN where the women give the birth at. There's no father in the room. Every time every time a black man finds out that, hey, this Shaquita, Shaquita pick up the phone. Hey, let's say his name is Jerome, I'm pregnant. Click. That's what Jerome gonna do. He gonna hang up that goddamn phone. That's the image. Jerome is gonna hang up that damn phone because Jerome is not gonna take care of the damn kids. This is the image. So back to Mr. Arkansas, Mr. Whites only. I'm fine with it, me personally, because I feel my competitive spirit will do the same thing. Just don't get, my thing is, just don't get mad when we do it. And there's another thing about, especially black conservatives. I wonder what they have to say about this. Your Officer Tatum's, your Hodge twins actually had this white man on their show and said, we'll give you an N-word pass. There's a lot of black men that are sellouts. They sell out to the conservative ideologies that are not godly. You cannot be a full-fledged conservative and love God. Now, what I mean, you can't. I believe you can be right, but you can't be far right. I put it like that. You get, because a lot of those conservative values, wiping out systems, starving people, they just like the Democrats. It's all to starve your ass out. Make sure you suffer. So your Officer Tatum's, Hodge twins actually had Eric Orwell, the founder of this all-white city in Arkansas. These are two black twins. They have black, but they black, right? They grew up around black folks. They had this man on their show, and they were laughing with this man, bootlicking. They're sellouts. There's a lot of black men that have sold out to the LGBTQ. There's a lot of black men who have sold out to the white folks, the white elitists. Black man would sell out. It's not just black America, it's the Africans too. The Africans are sold out to them European nations. There's no way Africa has all those resources and they're still behind. They should be number one in everything. Selling out. All white city, and they're saying racism doesn't exist. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how he's able to do this with all the laws put into place, because he believes he's superior. Hey, it came down to it. I believe I'm superior. I believe black man can outdo his city. I believe we'll have the best city and more people will come to our city because we have more style and more flavor. I don't get in my feelings like this because I don't know how. I couldn't have been no slave. Like my anger issues and not issues, but the way I'm built, once I get ticked off, I don't care about that. I don't care how bad it hurts. I got to get me somebody. And the images going back. See, both sides create this image. The image of black men are being weak. That's what I'm trying to say. They created an image where black men are irresponsible and weak, and it goes back to these slavery movies. This is why they love showing these slavery movies, to give us what they're doing psychologically. They're giving you your identity in America. In America, this is who you are. You're a slave. You're weak. The white man is stronger than you. I never agree with that. I never agreed no white man is stronger than me. I never agreed nobody's stronger than me except for God, right? So the images that they show us is all to control the mind. Black men are dirty, don't take care of their kids, and white people are superior. This is why they love showing these movies. A lot of people say slavery wasn't so bad. Black folks, because going back to their ideology, black people are weak, dumb, retarded, and violent. So because we're weak, retarded, and dumb and violent, they say, well, the Europeans did a good thing by enslaving us because we weren't really doing anything with Africa. We weren't being productive. And these beautiful white folks, they had a plan. And they had a plan, and this beautiful plan to build the greatest nation in the country. And this is how they justify people like Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, especially, I'm really getting on black conservatives, but all conservatives and liberals. This is how they justify slavery. But this is the greatest nation in the world. Yeah, a couple of blacks had to get hung. A lot of little black girls had to get raped. Some black men had to get raped. There's a lot of senseless murders that were committed, a lot of atrocities that were committed. But it's okay because you live in the greatest country on earth. That's how they justify it. That is how they justify it. So this is the country that we live in. This man is able to build an all-white country. I'm sorry, an all-white city. Nobody say nothing. But here's the thing. Deion Sanders come with that same arrogance. Deion Sanders come with that same swag, and they kick Deion Sanders in his ass. They kick Deion Sanders in his ass. Notice how this white man's getting praised because a lot of white folks think like him. An all-white city where we don't have to deal with DEI, an all-white city where we don't have to deal with Jews, and we have our own banks. I ain't mad at you building, but it's not what you do, it's how you doing it, right? So cool, you want to be arrogant, you feel like you're superior. Why was it a problem when Deion Sanders felt like he was superior when he played in the NFL? They hate Deion Sanders' blackness, they hate his confidence, they hate his good parenting skills. Deion Sanders is everything that the image is not. So the image I was telling you about, poor, dirty, irresponsible, and violent, that's the image. Deion Sanders is none of that. And he's raised a beautiful family, and these white folks hate that. Woo! That's how I root for Deion. Sock it to him. Because it bothers these folks in America. If you're not aligned with this image that they have of black folks, they hate your black ass. They hate that you confident. That's why I'm going to get all the money that I can. They hate that you love God. If you're a black man and you love God, I mean Christ, God, Christ, and the Holy Spirit. If you are real, like you trying to get right with God, you're trying to get you some money, you're trying to raise your family, you will be hated by white folks, and you'll be hated by some of black folks too. So that's why that's why you even see successful black men highly aggressive, because you're a target now. You're not with the BS. Let me jump into the comments real quick. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if I can do a poll. Let's see if the poll. I think my phone was just over here. Let me see. Okay, let's see if it works now. Can y'all see the poll? Oh, that's why. Oh, I didn't hit. Okay, there we go. Move this out the way. So my little poll thing is covering my face, but I don't think it's showing like that. All right, let's go into the comments. Boo. Shout out to City of Peace, James Arnold. I think James, you been here before? Yeah, James always on my damn channel with the foolishness. Shout out to James, the atheist. I think James been on my top since I started my damn channel. I don't know why James coming for me. The Bible's a fictional journal. Oh my goodness, why people hate Christ so much? This is the world we live in. The world is filled with hate. You ain't never lied. Shout out to JB78. Appreciate all y'all comments. I'm hearing you out. Shout out to Fired Up. See, me and Fired Up, we can get along. He disagree. You are black. I just thought you had a good tan. Oh, come on, y'all. I get that a lot. Y'all go easy on me. You aren't telling the whole truth. What's not the whole truth? Who runs the media? That's a good. JJ brought something up. He said, "Who runs the media?" Ooh, don't you? Hey, I heard it's the Jews. I heard it's the whites. That's a good question. Everybody is a killer. You just gotta push them to their limit. You are 100% right. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street run the media. Ooh, y'all been doing y'all research. That's why I love talking to y'all. Not all conservatives now. Yeah, not all conservatives. I think there's some good conservatives. Let's see. Stare. Epstein didn't kill himself. That was random. But I think that coincides with the system. Vote Democrat. American Patriots. Never vote. Shout out. I'm just scrolling through. Yeah, they want people to be separated. James Arnold. James been on my top. Kyler. Shout out to Kyler R. PhD students practice or read on their majors 5 hours per day. Piano players practice 6 hours a day. Okay. That's greatness right there. City of Peace. Stay out the matrix. You better stay out the matrix. Revelation 22:13. I'm the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Absolutely. Amen. Say hi. What's up, El Shabab? Saying hi back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mississippi is a prime example. Matrix is Hollywood. see, James cracked the funny. Lighten up, James. God damn. Aunt MED, all of us poor folks here in my hood get treated the same way. Yeah. That's why Christ came to earth to so we can touch God. When we touch Christ and they touched his clothes, and the prostitute grabbed her hair and she dipped her hair in oil and cleaned Jesus' feet. She knew that she knew that he was the Messiah, the Son of God, God in flesh, and his intentions were pure. We're talking to God right here, God in flesh. You can't get to the God that's unseen unless you believe in the God that we did see. Make that make sense. So you don't believe in God who walked the earth, which is Jesus Christ. How are you gonna see the Father if you don't believe in the Son? Think about how wonderful that was. We were actually able to touch God through his Son, Jesus Christ. Shout out Arthur H. City of Peace. Y'all handling y'all business. So yeah, John Applegate, Racism USA, Snuffles TV, Nobody Says It's Okay, Arthur H. Y'all going ham. Shout out to Hideaway Knife, Roman Rogers, Brandon Sampson. Let's see. Shout out to Bear. Shout out to Sterlo. Get over it. It's his property, so no trespassing. Hey, if you want to make... Now, here's the thing. This is my final point about this. And let me see. Did I miss anybody? Shout out to G Bambino. Shout out to Brandon Sampson. Oh, sorry. My bad. My thing went up. I said y'all. Love y'all. Shout out to Dirty Money. Trying to draw a crowd that don't care. You talking about me or Eric Harwell, the racist? Yeah. Specify, Dirty Money. Specify. You be in them streets with that dirty money. Specify, Nick. Mississippi Mound. So when a victim decides not to be a victim any longer and defend themselves, they are called criminals. Ooh, who woke up Mississippi Mounds? Who woke up Mississippi Mounds? Let me read that one more time. So when a victim decides not to be a victim any longer and defend themselves, they are called criminals. Yeah, they put you in the box. The system is a system. So when you ain't gonna be a slave and you say you ain't going for the BS, they're gonna lock you up. See where the same thing with the Black Panthers. Look behind me. This is real. Shout out to Babylon. Shout out to Roe. Make sure they bring all the boys to the yard. I don't know about your milkshake, Roe. Shout out to John Applegate. Shout out to Double D. So yeah, man. So my final point. What if if Eric Orwell is able to do this? He is regurgitating the Jim Crow system, the system put into place to where certain groups are not included. Cool, but what if this city? Because the person just said it's his property, he's able to do this. But what if this property expanded to other states? What if the whole country becomes like that? Then what would you say? So that's why I say it should be nipped in the bud. I don't think he should be able to do this. See, when you talk about races and culture, very tricky. Because he has an ideology that he only wants to implement. He has a skin color that he only wants to flourish in his town. But here's the thing. What if the entire state adopted the Jim Crow laws again? What I'm asking is, when do we draw the line as society and say this is not acceptable, right? This is not acceptable. There's a lot of things about the LGBTQ I don't agree with. There's a lot of things about other religions I don't agree with. But in Christianity, we learn to coexist. But I can't follow any other group, right? Because they're going to lead me into damnation because of their belief system. And all these religions are of Satan. It's all to distract you and discourage you from building an eternal relationship with God. So after we leave After our soul leaves the body, there's the afterlife that we have to prepare for. There's a spiritual warfare that we're going to be a part of. And the spiritual warfare is happening right now. So, but he's saying that there is no coexisting. It will be all white, all conservative, and you will think like me. Cool. The person in the comments said it's his property. He can do what he wants. Okay. What about the whole state doing it? What about all of Arkansas doing this? What about the whole United States doing this? And this is how, when you don't nip stuff in the bud, it begins to spread, because his hate and his the way he's going about things is very hateful. Not only this man is he is indulging in hate, he's spreading hate. You got conservatives saying it's not happening. That's crazy. I gave you guys hard evidence, hard evidence, but y'all flood my comments. I appreciate y'all. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta handle some more business. I gotta do some more uploads. I gotta get on the grind. I appreciate y'all. Those of you been rocking me since day one. I appreciate y'all. Those of you who just found the channel, I appreciate y'all too. 250 capital G. In order to be great, we gotta make great decisions, and building an all-white city with a racist ideology is not a great decision. I'm gone.